At the investigations, actually it was just when Steve and I were there by ourselves, we were going around and we were putting recorders around at different places. Steve and I were upstairs and we had just put a recorder down. We went clear to the end and we were getting ready to go downstairs. All of a sudden the PX that we had started talking, and it talked and talked and talked. We actually had to change the batteries when we got downstairs because it had talked so much.
I think maybe the thing that I remember the most, or what stood out to me the most, was we were upstairs in an old conference room, and again doing an EVP session, and we weren't really hearing anything. We hadn't really got any readings, so we decided to leave and go downstairs. So we start walking down this hallway, and we get about halfway down, and then we hear sounds coming from the room we were just in, and it sounded like someone was in there moving chairs, or the chairs had wooden arms on them, like people were pushing chairs together and they were touching or bumping. So we go back down there to kind of check it out, and there's nothing. We don't hear anything. This noise has stopped. And so we decide to go back downstairs again. We get about halfway down the hallway, same thing. So again, we go back down. Again, the noise has stopped. We don't find anything. Head back downstairs again, get halfway down the hallway. The third time now, we hear those sounds again. And at that point, we decided just to go on downstairs because I'm convinced there was something in there that was just toying with us, having fun, whatever. But everyone in the group heard that.
In the upstairs room, when you very first come up to the second floor of the hospital, there is a food elevator that has been closed off. And when we were walking past there, you could hear someone rattling the door to the elevator. We tried to move it ourselves. We tried to see if there was any type of shifting that you could do in different rooms or shutting of doors that would give it that sensation. We were unable to find anything to explain it. Every time we would go to walk away from it, it would do it again. I would be drawn back to that area to feel it, to try to move it again, and we would get nothing. I would walk away and it would do it, repeatedly do it. It probably did it 5 or 6 times repetitively when I would move away from that area. So
the second floor, we were sitting in the far room. I'm thinking it might have been a records room, and I was sitting to where I could see down the hallway. At the very end of the hallway, there was another room that had a security light on the outside of it, and it was casting light out into the hallway through the room. And as I was sitting there staring down the hallway, I could see a shadow a couple feet off the floor just floating right down the hallway. And as I watched it come closer to the room and start to enter the room, one of the other investigators with us was sitting by the floor, and he said, "Did anybody just see what crawled into this room?" As I watched the shadow come through the room, I knew exactly what he was talking about. I watched it come all the way down the hallway and into the room with us.
One of the times we were doing an EVP session on the second floor before the video that we about to show you, Joe and I were sitting there facing straight down the hallway, and we could see someone moving around really low. We thought many times, as if Joe would tell you too, that it was a reflection from the outside, but we checked the outside. There were no trees by that light. There was nothing that would cause that movement. Yet Joe and I both saw something moving around, something small that was moving around very, very low to the ground. On one of the PPI investigations, we were all seated in a large office on the second floor. This is the former outpatient area for the psych ward and for its offices. Investigator Joe Winchester and myself were sitting along one wall while our other investigators were spread around the room. In the video you will see shortly, watch behind Joe's head. You will see a ball of light pass behind his head and towards the corner of the room. Now I need to note that we immediately heard and felt some kind of spirit or energy in that corner. Now the light is not blocked at all, so it can't be coming from in front of Joe, otherwise you would see the reflection of his head as the light passes by.
Is that someone breathing loud, or is that growl again?
How many are there of you?
Do I think the place is haunted? There's absolutely stuff going on there that does not go on in my home.
I absolutely believe there is something or multiple things there. Absolutely. A lot of these things that we heard or saw or even came out on video or audio, there really is just no explanation for that other than that there's something there.
Without a doubt, Blackford County Hospital is haunted.
I honestly believe that this place is very haunted and people should be aware before they go in there.
Do I think the hospital is haunted? I think it's beyond haunted. Haunted would, to me, would just be that there's a couple of spirits that are floating around. I haven't seen too many spirits that growl at you, that have some really seriously evil breathing. And if you remember, the hospital was originally shut down because of babies that were being killed during delivery, which meant that there was something evil that was probably inside the hospital even back then. So would I say the place is haunted? Yes, I'd say it's most definitely haunted, and I would also have to say that there's something evil there.